Commercial olive growing began in New Zealand in Marlborough after cultivars were imported from Israel in the late 1980s. Since that time, olive groves have spread throughout the country. In Wairarapa, the olive press has been extracting oil on behalf of growers since 2001. They've recently opened a new pressing and bulk oil storage facility and retail shop in Greytown.
The olive press is a business which was originally set up as a toll processing operation to receive in the olives from growers all over the Wairarapa and as far north as Hawke's Bay and Kapiti, and press those olives into oil and return that oil to the growers. Where we've developed now is that we're turning the business into more of a year-round business where we will take ownership of some oil, we'll trade that oil, but we're still returning oil to those brand owners who want to have their own oil and are doing their own marketing and selling. Approximately 15 years ago, 30-odd growers had set up their groves and decided to buy quite a large press. There's only 3 presses of this size in the country. It wasn't a cooperative per se, but they did it cooperatively. The business has developed over its first 10 years or so, more as a hobby operation really, and it was only operating for 6 to 8 weeks a year. The press was mothballed once pressing was completed, and really as a business, the company wasn't really going anywhere. It was certainly providing a service to growers, but as the growers got older and didn't put as much as they perhaps would have originally liked into their groves, production wasn't growing. And so in the last 2 to 3 years, we've moved it from purely a toll processing operation to the year-round business that we see now. It started off with 32 shareholders, all bar one growers. The only one who wasn't was me. About 3 years ago, I decided that the industry was where the wine industry was about 30 years ago, and it needed a bit more input. So I made an offer to buy out with my business partner. We offered actually to buy out all the shareholders. All but about 16 accepted that offer, and most of those have got out of the industry or lost heart. And we've boiled down now to a hard core of keen growers and brand owners who are actually putting something into the business. The Greytown Trust Lands is our landlord, and they've been excellent to work with. It was purpose-built for us to our design in collaboration with them, and it's enabled us to expand into bulk oil trading and the retail store that you'd see now.
The olives received here at the door, and they're weighed in through the set of load scales. From there, they're put into a hopper where they go through a washing plant, up through a hammer mill, into our malaxing vats, which are a heated system to warm the fruit up. From there, it's pumped through a decanter to separate the oil and the vegetable water and the solids. And then the oil from there is pumped through a vertical separator to give the oil a final clean before it goes into the customer's containers. Getting clean fruit is a big plus. We need to try and get as much leaf and other debris out of the fruit prior to processing to get the flavours correct. This plant is set up solely for doing extra virgin olive oil with no further processing. Extra virgin olive oil is oil that's processed through the system and kept at less than 27 degrees from start to finish. The waste stream at the moment is composted or used as mulch in its natural state.
This is classic Wairarapa, high quality extra virgin olive oil. This particular oil is a blend of Licino and Frantoio, which are amongst the more common varieties that we grow in this region. And as you can see, that beautiful yellow, gold, green colour, absolutely gorgeous. And from a flavour perspective, top of the range. When it's tested, it's world quality. I mean, a lot of our oils are winning international medals at the moment. But to be a extra virgin olive oil, it has to be sent to a laboratory. Ours are sent to a laboratory in New South Wales, and it has to meet certain flavour profiles, polyphenols, and free fatty acids. And those are pretty stringent criteria. I think the thing that has to happen to get more New Zealand oil sold in the New Zealand supermarkets and delis and so forth is twofold. One is price, obviously, because the New Zealand consumer is price sensitive. And secondly is education. From a price point of view, yes, we have to get the price down, but we don't have to reduce it to the level of imported oil. It's a combination of those two things, the education and getting the price down to a sensible level. We take the view that the New Zealand market's untapped, and until such time as we've got sustainable supply, long-term, sustainable, high production, we're not even going to look at exporting because we can't deliver. In 30 years' time, we'll get there, but that's not part of our dream for the next 5 years. The vision for me and for the Olive Press Limited is to see an industry created. That's the reality. I keep saying to people we are where the wine industry was 30 years ago. I believe that we have to educate the public to the quality of the oils that we're producing, which are phenomenal, and to accept that a lot of the imported oil, in fact most of it, is not good quality. And we've got to get the production up, because if we can get the volume of production up, and that requires people to be looking after their groves, then we can actually hold costs, or in fact, on the basis of good, higher volume, reduce cost.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.